3-1.
When we come back, I'll just go over how they scored, what happened. 3-1 is your score. Bristol Blues are up. We're heading to the top of the second. What happened was the Blues were able to score the third run on a RBI single by Brancato. Scoring was Bauman, and then Stevens tried to extend the play and get to third. He was thrown out by the center fielder, Shade. That's how we got to this point of 3-1 with the Blues back on defense.
Stevens being just a little bit too aggressive, but a great at-bat from Brancato. Took a fastball, didn't try to do too much with it, just drove it right back up the middle to score a run. 3-1 Blues here, and that's exactly what you want to see if you're Ronnie Palmer in that Blues dugout. You go down, maybe struggling in the top of the first a little bit, go down by 1 run. That's what great teams do. They respond in their half of the inning, and that's exactly what the Blues did to reclaim that lead.
We're going to have 6, 7, 8 for the Suns. Mueller, Mendoza, and Gernak. And one thing I want to see out of this young right-hander for the Blues is the shutdown inning. When your team scores you, or rather spots you a couple runs, can you be able to shut the door down instantly and get that offense back on the field?
Yeah, Rouse just gonna have to find the strike zone. Bear down and just get some outs. Maybe a quick inning. That's exactly what you need.
And Rouse getting done with his warm-up pitches with Bauman putting both of his hands out. Number 16, Taylor Miller, the DH, at the plate, left-handed hitter. Comes into today, 500 average with 2 walks.
Some confusion here on the score. Stevens was thrown out on the Brancato single, but I believe Leparco.
First pitch, foul back. No, you're right. He was thrown out, but the question was that Bauman's foot touch home plate. And the umpire did say safe, so as long as his foot touched home plate before Stevens was tagged out, that run scores, and it counts.
It should be 3-1.
First pitch, line past the pitcher, Rouse, and on the diving play by Sagan. That's going to be a single here in the top of the second for the DH.
Mueller jumping
Vincent
all over
Mendoza.
Fastball.
Rouse comes to the set. Taking his time. Throws it back to first. Not his best move.
I think that's the old school opponent dugout, not his best.
But it looks like on the scoreboard, the run didn't count.
I am absolutely perplexed at that call. I mean,
first pitch slider way inside, 1-0.
the home plate umpire was signaling safe at the plate, but the field umpire was looking at us up here in the press box and was giving us the signal for 2-1. So apparently they talked about it, and that run did not count. So score remains just 2-1 here in favor of the Blues.
1-0 fastball hits the outer black, 1-1. Now, I guess Stevens must have been tagged out before Bonneman's foot touched home plate. That's the only other solution to that.
I mean, I find that hard to believe. I was watching it in real time, and it didn't look that way. And I think the home plate umpire agreed, but apparently not.
Rouse is taking his time, staring at second, but there's nobody there. 1-1 changeup. And that looked to have fooled Mendoza, 1-2. Or rather, fooled Mendoza, 1-2 on the pitch.
See what Rouse looks to do here ahead in the count. He's been behind most of the day.
1-2 slide step, high fastball, and a little bit of a recoil after that. You saw his right leg kind of pop up after that throw.
Yeah, he just kind of hummed that one in there.
And Rouse can do that. We were talking to the pitching coach for the Blues. Can get up to about 90, 91 as a freshman.
I mean, if you have that in your arsenal, you might as well use it. Not too shabby from Rouse.
2-2 pitch. Off the hands. Sagan only has one play. And Brereton looked like he had to kind of move his, or rather adjust his foot, but he was able to tag the base and get the out. However, Miller gets to second, and the Suns have one out.
Yeah, only play for Sagan there, and quite the play. I mean, look at the hands on Sagan. He transferred very quickly, and Richard Brereton, he's not a traditional first baseman. He normally plays middle infield, left side of the infield, even outfield, but the Blues elected to put him at first base, and he's done the job over there so far.
First pitch. Off speed outside, 0-1. No, you're right. Brereton really has been able to be that super utility, almost like Ben Zobrist with the Cubs.
Exactly.
Going in multiple spots and being useful anywhere.
He could also pitch. You're probably going to see him on the bump at some point throughout this summer, so Brereton, certainly a do-it-all guy for the Blues. 1-0
slider, 0-2. I'm telling you, that slider is working for Rouse tonight.
I mean, a ton of movement on that off speed. And if you can really locate that, that is a put-out pitch for sure. Definitely a strikeout pitch for a power guy like Rouse.
Staring down second again is Rouse, the 0-2. Fastball way inside, kind of moved the feet of Gernak, 1-2. No, you're right, though. Being able to manipulate the slider and be able to add and subtract and kind of almost in a way take a little off and make it more of a looping pitch, maybe 12-6, and then add more to it, make it more of a tighter break, 10-5.
You can definitely use that in a bunch of different ways if you're Rouse.
1-2. Had to be a slider, was supposed to be down, caught a little bit too much of the plate, and Gernak was able to foul it off to stay alive.
If you're the pitching coach, Jordy Schneider, you got to be foaming at the mouth with the stuff that Rouse has displayed so far. Just got to hone in and be able to throw in the strike zone a little bit more consistently if you're Rouse.
1-2 pitch. 2-2, and Rouse kind of giving that head wag. I've seen that before.
Yeah, I know, competitor, you want that call, but that was a little bit off the plate. Ball 2 for sure.
It also doesn't help when your catcher is setting up on one side and he kind of has to move 3 or 4 inches to the left. A lot of times umpires will not give you that strike. The 2-2. And Gernak had kind of evade that pitch. That was way up in his grill.
Yeah, Rouse definitely trying to establish the inside corner, but a little bit too inside for Gernak's liking, I'm sure.
It's going to be a full count pitch. Expect the runner on second for the Suns. The DH to be moving on the pitch. Rouse steps off, kind of taking off the sweat off the brim of his head. This is a big pitch right here, 2-1. It was 3-1, but the umpire said that the third run for the Blues did not score. That's why it's 2-1. Slider in, ball. Tough at bat for Gernak. It's going to be first and second with one out.
Yeah, it's a disappointing at bat from Rouse's perspective. You get Gernak down 1-2, pretty much on his heels. Fastball was looking good. You dropped in a slider to get that second strike, but Rouse just kind of lost him there.
That's going to bring up the second baseman, number 1, Jack Kolomovic. Left-handed hitter. First pitch swing, fouls it off, and looks like Rouse kind of gave a little bit of a gesture after that throw. Maybe not happy where that pitch was trying to hit the outer half of the plate. Instead, it was inside.
Yeah, Rouse looks like he's picking and choosing who he's trying to bust inside. Looked like it was incidentally inside there for the pitch to Kolomovic.
The 1-0. Low 1-1. And I'm not very surprised to see a young pitcher like Rouse to kind of show emotion. You typically will see that in a kid who is still trying to be able to find his way and what he can do on the mound.
Absolutely. You love to see emotion, but you also want to channel that, get some positive energy out of that, and be able to use that and throw strikes.
1-1, change up outside, 1-2.
Yeah, that's a dangerous pitch. You see Kulamovic was sitting fastball there, and he just swung right over the change. A little bit of that dipping action. That's exactly what you want to see out of a changeup. Just kind of dip away and fade, and it's tough to put in play. And if you do put in play, it's definitely going to be soft contact.
Now, if you're Rouse, do you come back with that pitch?
Might see a slider here from Rouse. That's been working.
1-2 fastball. Strike 3. And Kulamovic goes down looking on that fastball and nips the outer black of the plate. 2 down.
You said it, Chris. I mean, fantastic spot. If you're a hitter, the only thing you can do is really flail at that, hope to foul it off. That was right on the lower outside corner. That's pretty much an impossible pitch to hit if you're at the bat right there. And Kulamovic definitely didn't want anything to do with that pitch right there.
That was a big strikeout, the first of the day for Rouse. We're back up to the top with Chad Shade. First pitch, outer half again, 0-1.
This would be big if Rouse can escape here without any damage done. He's kind of been tiptoeing around, but really got to hammer things home right now. Maybe get a ground ball. Just get out of this inning.
Shade weakly hit right back to the pitcher Rouse for the first out in the top of the first. Slider, outer half, 0-2.
He's feeling it right now. He's gotten 2 strikes in the last 3 batters, so he's definitely right around the strike zone. See if you can finish him off. Maybe a waste pitch here, but that slider's been biting. Might not be a bad pitch. You want that away and get Shade here to chase.
The 0-2. Slider again. Good call, AJ, right there. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Sunstrand runners on first and second. We're heading to the bottom of the second. Blues are up 2-1 here at Muzzy Field. Rouse with a little bit of damage in the first, or rather in the top of the second. Runners on first and second, but struck out the number 9 hitter and Shade. 2 big strikeouts, and his first 2 strikeouts of the day.
Yeah, you see the flashes of brilliance from Rouse right there. I mean, when he's got all his pitches going, that fastball is electric. You saw the changeup get a couple swings and misses, and that's very soft and dies away. And then that slider is just dynamite. Absolutely devastating, especially in a 2-strike count. You'd love to go to that and get some Pittsfield hitters to chase outside the zone, and that is certainly a weapon that Rouse should utilize.
We have 8-9 then top. Ethan Hunt, Sagan, and we're back up to the top rather with Osberg. Fathom get on. Alex Laparco. Ethan Hunt playing left field, the number 8 hitter. We're in the number 6 jersey from the right side. Back on the mound for his second inning of work is the right-hander, Freeney. And I'm surprised that Freeney, looking at how many guys were in the bullpen in the previous inning, that he's back out, unless when you look at the head coach for the Suns, Matt Gedman, how long's his leash?
Yeah, you definitely hate to pull a guy after the first inning, especially only after you've only given up 2 runs. I mean, that's not the biggest disaster in the world. 4 hits in 1 inning, that's not too pretty. But again, Freeney able to limit the damage to just 2. We'll see if he's able to settle down here in the second inning.
Freeney's 0-2. Swung out to the left. It's going to be a tough play for White. Comes in diving, makes the catch. And for a second, I wonder if he maybe lost it in the lights, kind of went back on that hit. or when the ball made the contact with the bat, but then as that ball started to die, he really had to charge in, and White was able to make the catch for the first out.
Yeah, White certainly, I did not think he was going to get there, and I think the ball hit the heel of his glove. It might have even trickled out for a second, but he was able to use his throwing hand to stop any movement and complete the play. Nice sliding grab from White for the first out.
First pitch strike to Sagan on the outer half of the black, 0-1. And that's something that could really help Freeney out. Next pitch, same exact spot, 0-2, where we talk about any sort of confidence that can help a player. Maybe that might help Freeney.
Absolutely, that's baseball right there. Maybe your pitcher's not having the best day. Your defense is going to have to pick him up and vice versa.
0-2, way outside, 1-2. Sagan, the number 9 hitter, trying to find any way to get on. The 1-2. Slider gets away from the catcher, Gernak. Sagan hustling down. But Gernak is able to complete the process for the second out.
Good play there by Gernak. Bit of some confusion there. Could have been a foul tip, but it was a straight swing and miss. Gernak sprung into action, collected himself, and fired a strike down to first base to complete the play. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the second.
Now, the reason why Sagan had to run out that ball is because if the catcher does not hold on to it for the third strike, he has to complete the process by throwing him out at first. Back up to the top with Ian Osberg, the second baseman, who was able to get on base after a tough, felt like a 14-pitch at bat. Singled up the center and then came around to score on a wild pitch.
And that's why that out before striking out Sagan is huge, because you never want to let the 9 guy on, especially with the top of your order, your big sticks coming up.
The 1-1, 2-1. And Sagan does have some speed, so when you combine that with Osberg, who has the ability to put the ball in play, a wild throw from one of the infielders could easily put him on third.
Yeah, definitely. Sagan has the ability to make something happen on the base pass.
2-1, inside on the hands. White has it camped under it for the third and final out. 3 up, 3 down. We're heading to the top of the third. 2-1's your score. Blues are up over the Suns.